The first look we've done today is from Jean-Paul Gaultier, the main runway collections for autumn-winter, 212, 213. A lot of the time, I think if you look at the micro trends, they change quite quickly, but they can be adapted very nicely to the high street and to the salons, to us guys that are producing that for the high street. So what we basically did was take a kind of mid-length hair and section it off, wave it, using kind of like heat appliance to just get the texture into the hair and get a little bit of kind of lived-in movement, and then basically working through the structure, backcombing and creating this very almost sort of like I would say Brigitte Bardot-esque kind of Amy Winehousey feel to autumn winter, but the hair needs to be very deconstructed. You know, so you're looking at a very much more sort of session look for long hair. It's not going too sort of wedding-y, too slick, too neat. You know, loosen it up. Don't be afraid to kind of get your hands in there and mess it up. And if you get the kind of structure right, you'll get a very kind of hit-on runway, kind of apt fashion image.
You can see with the first look, what we've done is we've taken this vibrant copper, we've kind of diluted it down for a more consumer-friendly feel. So again, we've gone quite bold and quite bright with our shade, but with our placement, we've kind of blended it through. So it's kind of much more, less scary for the client, and you know, they can kind of embrace it, and then, you know, it's kind of, they're wearing the trend, but in a consumer way.
So like the second look that was taken from Blue Marine, you know, the dark hair, the very black, very polished, very saturated. Almost like if you think of a vinyl record, you know, if you look at those old school pieces, they kind of shine out, they've got that great gloss to it. And if you mimic that in the hair, you get that kind of great runway feel, but really consumer. You know, they walk out on the street, it's beautiful.
On our second look, what we've done is we went for this high gloss feel. So always across the board, you can see from Chanel and Dior, you always get this high gloss, kind of almost block coloured feel. So it's very simple in terms of colour choice, and clients will always embrace that. But again, it's quite a strong look. So when you've got a kind of real precision haircut, keeping the colour really simple is always going to sell it to the client.
The last look we did was taken from Prada, and that, if you look at the runway collection, is very, very kind of raw and distinct coloration. And even though we've done the coloration to be kind of bold, it's seamless, it's more watered down for the high street on the last collection that we did. And cut-wise, leaving the haircut very shattered, very kind of broken up, that also makes it consumer friendly. So the client can actually work with it other than, you know, rather than us doing it and always looking good, they know that they can do it at home and look good and change the image.
Through to our third look, which is kind of more of this ice cream pastel shades. We've gone through with diluted shades, but just working it in a subtle feel throughout the front area. So it's not kind of, again, too bold or too over the top. It's just really beautiful, but you're introducing that kind of little bit of fashion tone throughout.